Hey Carson, great to see you.
How's it
Appreciate
going?
your time. I'm
Yes, sir.
curious when you were watching, or assuming you were watching, the Sugar Bowl, were you glad to not face Georgia and deal with that storyline all week? Were you disappointed in not getting that opportunity? And how do you think your sort of personality, your outlook has changed in the year that you've been at Miami after leaving Georgia?
I don't think that the outcome of the game had really any effect on my emotions or how I felt. Honestly, the whole entire game, I was just dissecting both of the defenses, trying to see what they were doing, um, trying to start to kind of getting a head start jump on preparation for this week. So again, that's really what my focus was during the game. And then obviously, Ole Miss won, and I immediately went and started, watching a couple games and trying to get a little head start and jump for preparation. But um, yeah, for me, I think just my outlook on everything and the way that I've been able to grow throughout this season has honestly been everything, right? And that's obviously why I came back and why I wanted to, be another year in college and come to the University of Miami is to, be in this position. And, we had a really good feeling about this team and the talent that we were going to have. And, from the coaches to the players and the way that everything's meshed, it's been obviously an unbelievable season for us. And, we're just going to continue to work and focus on what we need to focus on.
Okay, we'll move on to Jordan McPherson.
Yeah, hey there, Carson. You just said the ways that you've been able to grow. In what ways specifically do you feel you have grown the most this year?
I think for me is just handling adversity. And honestly, I believe that Coach Dawson has had a huge part in that. Just the way that he carries himself and his cool, calm, collected manner and the way that he coaches. And don't get me wrong, he'll get on you when when he needs to. He is an intense competitor, 100%. But the way that he's able to carry himself through, adversity and different moments and things of that sort, I think it's really helped me. Just going through the season and just because and learn how to handle adversity better doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect. And this season has been a great example of that. So again, this whole entire team has done a really good job with that. But I feel like that's one area that I've gotten a lot better in just in my personal growth.
All right, we'll move on to Brandon Marcello.
Congrats on the success so far, and I look forward to seeing Arizona. I was wondering just what's it like having so many famous alumni, even Hall of Famers, around the facility, and then also just on the sidelines for game days. And do you have any interesting stories from your interactions with them?
Yeah, it's the coolest thing ever, actually. It's actually so dope. I'll tell you two quick ones. The first one is Notre Dame game, first game of the season. And I'm walking out there. I was a captain, and I'm walking out there. And we're obviously you all like stand on the sideline about to walk out to the 50-yard line. And I look to my right, and it's Andre Johnson. And the first time I ever met him, introduced myself, and I'm like shell shocked. I'm like, dude, this is Andre Johnson, like literally just standing next to me so casually, about to walk out and, play this game. And that was just the first, obviously, that was like the first moment that I was able to, see guys, from the past that are these amazing players that went on to have great NFL careers. That was the first moment. And then this last game against Ohio State, the defense was out on the field. There's probably like 8 minutes left in the game in the fourth quarter, and I was kind of on the opposite side, just trying to watch the defense, and they're about to get a stop. And I looked to my left, and obviously, y'all know Michael Irvin's always on the sideline. So I mean, I get to talk to him and see him all the time, which is super dope. I mean, he's just an amazing guy and has so much juice and energy. But I look to my left, and it's Ray Lewis just standing there, and I'm like, oh my gosh! So my dad actually played linebacker at the Naval Academy, so I took the offensive route and played quarterback. But I always wanted to play linebacker when I was younger, so I always looked up to Ray Lewis, and he was my favorite linebacker growing up. So I literally just look at him and just shake his hand, and he introduced himself, and then he's like, "Yo, go win us the ball game." And I was like, "Well, now I have to." I was like, "We literally have to go score. Like, I can't let this dude down." So I don't know, man. I mean, it's been awesome, and to have those type of guys just around the building and on the sideline just brings so much juice and energy. And I mean, it's what the U is about. And they built this culture, and we carry it on to try to continue their legacy.
What do you think of Urban's antics on the sidelines and putting belt to ass, after games and everything?
I love him. I think the energy that he brings to this team, it's irreplaceable, right? And he's an amazing person, an amazing human being. And like I said, the energy that he supplies this team is irreplaceable, and we love having him around.
Thank you. We'll go to Barry Jackson.
Carson, now 36-5 for you as a starter. You've been able to play for one of the best college programs in the last 20 years with Georgia, now one of the best this year. What's the commonality in the culture that you've noticed between the two programs in terms of what's expected of players above and beyond that's helped make both programs successful, and any differences between the culture of the two?
I think there's a lot of things that define teams that have success, but off the field, obviously on the field, you have to be talented. You have to be able to play situational football. You have to be good in the middle eight. You have to be good on third down. You have to be good in 2-minute drives. You have to be good in the red zone, right? There's all these things that you have to be good at on the field, and talent speaks for itself. But I think the biggest thing that defines teams that have success is A, how you handle adversity and how you respond to adversity, and B, player-led teams that buy into connection, and it's not just lip service. It's not just talk the talk. You actually have to walk the walk. And I believe that this team, like a lot of the national championship teams at Georgia were, this team is player led, and the connection is a real thing. It's a real family. I love these guys, man. I mean, I've enjoyed playing for this team so much. These coaches, obviously these wide receivers, O-line, the whole entire offense, and obviously the defense as well. But I spend a lot more time with the offense. I mean, I've really gotten to know these guys, and they're going to be lifelong friends and family to me for the rest of my life. So I think those are two things that A, handling adversity, responding to it, and then B, exemplifying connection on and off the field. And I feel like this team has those two things.
Thank you.
Barry Jackson.
I just asked the question, so I'm good.
Oh, sorry, man. Let's go to Christian.
Hey, Carson, how's it going? Being able to get a couple days of film study on Ole Miss, especially their defense. What's been some of the biggest keys that you've seen in their defense? Because statistically, they don't have the flashiest defense, but what's some of the things that you've noticed?
Well, you got to think. I mean, the way that their offense is, played and been really, really efficient. They're going to be on the field a little bit more. So maybe the statistics won't really be there, but. You look at their defense, they're very, very talented. The D line, they have some really, really good pass rushers. They try to stuff the run with different types of pressures and looks and things of that sort. I've been able to play against this DC twice now, and he's done some really, really good things against our offenses when we played. Obviously, this is a totally different team, different scheme, things of that sort being here at Miami compared to Georgia. But again, you look at their entire defense, they fly to the ball, they swarm, they give a lot of different looks, coverages, blitzes, things of that sort. And they've been really good on third down from what I've been able to watch, diving into it more as we continue to prepare throughout the week. But from what I've been able to watch, they're a really good defense that's talented and flies around the ball and swarms to the ball.
Rachel Bachman.
Hey, Carson. Great stories about the alumni, by the way. I'm curious what kind of stories stick out to you about watching or interacting with Miami's defensive linemen, especially Bain and Mesidor.
Yeah. Those two are game wreckers. And even just having one of those guys, I think would be a huge impact to any defense. But being able to have both of them has completely, changed the course of, this season and the way that our defense plays, right? We always stress, the importance of the trenches of our O-line, our D-line, and how they lead both sides of the ball. They lead this team. We are behind them. And obviously they've done a phenomenal job along with the rest of the defense this year of, executing and just playing a physical brand of ball, which it's a lot of fun to watch.
Thanks. Tim Reynolds, I know you had a question, Tim.
Carson, a lot gets made about the all the alums on the sideline and all that. Were you familiar with Ed Reed's Joaquin said dominate speech and did what Ruben, if you are, is what Ruben did at halftime the other night in any way similar to that kind of iconic, still viral moment from like 25 years ago?
Yeah, I had heard the speech before, and obviously it's an iconic speech, but I feel like for Bane in that moment, he's not a loud rah-rah guy. He's not gonna, chat your ear off. He's gonna put his head down and he's gonna work. And he's gonna work and he's gonna work. And honestly, that's one thing that I love about him. But for guys like that in those moments to step up and say something and, be open like that, to come out and speak in front of the entire team when that's not necessarily something that he does all the time, he means it. I think there's weight behind that. That's something that's coming from the heart, something that, he needs to say to the team. And shoot, it had me juiced. I was ready to roll out there and go die for those boys. So again, it obviously, I think it's an iconic moment that we'll always remember as a team, and an iconic moment, in his development, as a player and what he's been able to do for us this year.
Carson, I don't know if you've ever been out to Arizona before, but our next question is going to be from someone out here in Arizona, Adam from ASU Cronkite.
Hey, Carson. When you first think back to transferring to Miami, what was kind of appealing about this school, and has your expectations going into this experience kind of lived up to that this year?
Yeah, I think for me, what was most appealing was what the offense was able to do last year. Obviously, they were very successful and statistically, I mean, one of the best offenses in the country, if not the best offense in the country. And you look at the O-line, I mean, that's very enticing to want to play behind these guys. And honestly, every expectation that I had, coming in, it's been completely blown out of the water. This place has just been unreal. It's been amazing. And again, it goes down to the relationships that I've been able to build, and the coaches, the players, the staff, the fans, everybody. This whole experience has been, once in a lifetime, and obviously a year that I'll remember forever. And honestly, I'm just so blessed, grateful, and thankful that we're still playing. There's only 4 teams left, and only 4 teams have the opportunity to, go play this week. So I'm super grateful for that, and one more opportunity, a guaranteed opportunity, to go play with these guys, this team, these coaches.
All right, last up for Carson, we're going to go to Manny.
Hey, Carson, congratulations on the playoff wins and getting to this point.
Thank you.
Curious about, just your emotions and your feelings as far as your NFL future. Obviously coming to Miami, you talked about how you wanted to get ready, use this year to help you get to that point. I know the statistics the last couple of games for you individually haven't been great, but you've shown just how unselfish you are, with some tough running and really smart decision making. What do you hope NFL teams have learned about you through this season?
Yeah. For me, the only stat that matters is the win column. And again, I'm willing to do anything to win. Whatever the team needs of me, whatever that is, I am willing to do. And I feel like I've shown that. And I feel like I've shown that I love this game and that I'm willing to do anything for the team that I'm on and for the brothers that I play with. And I feel like the guys on this team know that, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for them. I'm here to do this for them. They're why I do it. Again, I'm really excited about this opportunity and continuing to be able to have the opportunity to play with this team, and continue to, prove more for myself and prove more for this team as well. So again, I know all these guys got my back. I got their back, and we're excited for this opportunity and this run that we've been on.